Well, we'll commence the Flames TV and Not So Roundtable. I guess we'll call it the long table, but it's great always to have Peter Labardia, Sportsnet color analyst, back on the Flames TV desk. It kind of feels like we had staged last night, and now Peter Labardia is back. It's good.
Yeah, well, I've certainly added to the roundtable anyway.
No, come on now. Well, listen, hey, this was sitting down here. The building's vibrating prior to puck drop. You're up top. Playoff hockey made its return with an impact, didn't it, last night?
It actually, one of the things that impressed me the most, Parks, was when the team came out, not just for the game, but for the warm-up. That is when I knew that it was going to be a really, really special night in this building because people were there, they were ready, and that ovation brought chills up and down my spine, let alone, just after 8 o'clock when they came out for real. So, in talking about the atmosphere, one of the areas of growth in last night for me is I have found sometimes with this group in the past, when the crowd is that juiced and the emotion is flying and everything's on the line, this team handled it brilliantly. They completely used it in the first period. Their first period might have been one of the best periods of playoff hockey I've seen this team play in years. It was a really dominant, the way they need to play, the way they want to play, opening 20 minutes.
And that first shot against doesn't come until about the midway mark of the first period. And
Jacob didn't even get a touch.
Yeah.
Like literally barely had a touch in the first 10.
Yeah. It changes the whole mindset of that first period for sure. And that's obviously something we heard about the players talk about, maybe, an opportunity to try and carry that in through more of the rest of the game. Obviously, penalties play a big role in that, and we saw a lot of specialty teams in terms of the second period. And it kind of, balanced out in the third, but the penalty kill.
Well, the penalty kill, obviously, in this building and all year. I mean, 6th best in the league going into the playoffs, 2nd best in the league in this building. Up until very late, they'd only given up 5 power play goals all year long in this rank, and then they had a couple of games where they scuffled in that area a little bit. But I love their up-ice pressure last night, and I thought their denial on the entries was absolutely superb. The one thing that I think we'll have to improve is, you can't take as many, and both teams ended up with 5 power plays, and we've seen a lot of that early in the playoffs. But winning more short-handed faceoffs. Dallas won 11 of the 14 short-handed faceoffs. Now, they weren't all necessarily in the offensive zone, but that's a real good faceoff team, 2nd in the league. They get to the net. They're hard. They have great guys on the back who know what they're doing when you win it back clean. Nobody better in the league than Pavelski at tipping pucks. So that would be the only part of the penalty kill that you'd like it to be just a tad more even than that.
Well, and especially because as far as entries are concerned, and we've seen how aggressive this team is at the blue line, outstanding in terms of not allowing Dallas to get set up in the first place. Game 2, because you're only as good as the last one. I know in playoff hockey, you're happy to get the wins no matter how they come. But game 2, you expect another team that's going to come in prepared to make some adjustments. But this is where we start to see that chess match, whether it be the coaching staff and 2 veteran coaches in Rick Bowness and Daryl Sutter, but game 2.
Well, the thing I like for Calgary is I think there's a couple more levels. And I think there's more periods potentially like the first period. I thought when, Rasmus left the game, there was a lot of penalties in the last couple of periods. You get out of the flow. You don't have one of your best defensemen in terms of checking, making plays, shooting the puck. I thought the way they moved the puck out of their own zone early was brilliant. If they can, again, put more of that on the table, they're going to get way more chances. Listen, there wasn't 10 good chances total in game 1. So as you heard from Matthew Tkachuk earlier today, love the first. I would say his description in one word of the last 2 would be meh.
Yeah.
Like effective, though. I mean, you give up 16 shots and maybe 4 good chances on net.
Yeah.
I'll take that in a playoff game every night and throw my cards on the table.
And then reset them and head back right back at it here tomorrow night. Game number 2, Dallas Stars and Calgary Flames. And we know the Sea of Red will sound very much the same when it comes to puck drop in the end.
Well, and the 8 o'clock starts seem to lend themselves to a little extra sauce.
Well, there's a little extra pregame time for sure. Red Law looked great too, and we can't wait for game 2 tomorrow.